Welcome to Sports Talk Playoff Edition, Coast to Coast. Alright, we got some stuff to talk about. Before we get started, OJ, you got a draft report for us so we can get to this basketball, because that's going to take up the majority of the show.
I got 32 teams to choose from. I'll give you all the draft picks.
There's only 10 teams in the NFL that's relevant. And we only got a few teams that we actually referenced during the season. You know, we got my Buster Bears, and they ain't no good. We talked about Quell's favorite team, the Vikings. Since Tony's on board now, I guess we can talk about his Cowgirls. And then, of course, we got the Saints and your, I don't even know. Who are you following? Oh, yeah, I guess the Bucks. In your opinion, OJ, who did the best in the draft this year? I mean, I know some teams had multiple picks. The Giants, the Jets, even the Lions. I think Kansas City had a couple of picks in the first round, too, because of that Tyreek Hill trade. But who probably... I mean, based on what you know and what you've been, in your opinion, who did the best in the draft this year? On paper, going forward.
On paper, I would say the Jets. I mean, Detroit did good too, but I would say the Jets. They filled up all they hold. Now, that's on paper. You know, you got to play the games. We'll see. Yeah, so I just run down their picks.
No, we don't need to know all that. We just you said they filled all their hoes, and like you just said, we got to see how they play. We ain't got time for all that.
What about it's the Jets? Okay.
Well, you know, saying. To be fair, it ain't the Jets. It's you know, you got to be coached. It's all about attitude, reflect leadership, right, Tony? Ain't that what they said in Remember the Titans? You know, you got to be led right. You know, you can have all the right pieces in place. But if you ain't being led by the right person, and you know, you gotta have what did y'all say? You gotta buy into the system, you know.
Yep.
So, and if you ain't buying what they selling, then it ain't gonna work. What about any of these playoff teams? Are they doing anything? The Chiefs, the Bucks, the Rams, and we're talking about the draft. I mean, I know some people did some stuff in the free agents, and I'm not even going to address that. We'll talk about that in August. But did any of these playoff teams make any good moves?
How about the Dallas Cowboys? They didn't make a splash or nothing because they just got what they needed. It was no flashy players, you know, like they always do. They just got what they needed. So I would say the Cowboys are you know, maybe they changing the way they do things.
I'm gonna bring Tony in here on this one, Tony, because you know Dak Prescott got his contract, but in my opinion, and I don't know who else thinks this, but did he play worse last year than he has combined the first couple of years when he was playing for that money? It's like he got his money, so he just. I mean, I know he got hurt during the season, but for the money that you get paid, and this goes for Aaron Rodgers too, you don't play like crap in the playoffs. You don't get beat at home in the playoffs, which they both did.
Yeah, it kind of seemed. Well, it seemed like he was not as effective as he has been the past couple of years, right? But then you got to look at like okay, so what were the contributing factors? Yeah, okay, he's their leader. He has to take it on the chin, right? All right. But who else? He's got some shared responsibility there too, because that line wasn't doing as great as they had been, and I don't know what the heck was up with the receiving core or the plays.
Hold on. We're not gonna tiptoe around this, because I've been saying this for the last 3 years. So you ain't been here, so I'm gonna give you a pass. OJ, where am I going? You know where I'm going. Go ahead and say it for me, OJ.
Say what?
What is the problem here? What's the name that Tony didn't mention?
Oh, you talking about Zeke?
Exactly. He got the contract and he ain't played up the part of that contract
yet. Yeah, he turned into a bust. Yeah,
I understand that he got to have the line and the receivers got to catch the ball. But the bottom line is, after the quarterback is the running back, and you got to put in work. And he ain't put no work in.
But part of that is the offensive line ain't been no good.
That's what I was getting
a running back is only good as his offensive line.
That's
kind of what I mean.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, everybody can't be like Barry. You know what I'm saying?
And I was waiting for Sonic so I could say that. Barry Sanders would not say the same thing, but one of the greatest of all time behind Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith. But anyways,
hey OJ, I got a question.
Facts.
Okay. Why did this Malik Willis kid go so low?
Because he's the one that like Trae Young last year. He has a lot of upside, but he's not ready to play right now. That's why. And
why did Pittsburgh pick Kenny Pickett? Didn't Pittsburgh pick him?
Yeah, because he's the most NFL ready, and they got him. Yeah, they got him and Trubisky. They're gonna fight it out. We're gonna see who's gonna be the quarterback day one.
And so you said Malik Willis ain't NFL ready? Every quarterback in the college is usually NFL ready. What do you mean?
Nah. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't have so many busts. I mean, I don't think there's. I look at Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Lee. I mean, I can go down a list of quarterbacks that was taken high
I'm talking about produce. I'm talking about like last 5 to 10 years. You could say they bust, but they come out doing okay.
I would say that quarterbacks nowadays are more NFL ready because of the quarterback camps and everything that these young kids are doing are exposed to now. Those opportunities weren't available to me or guys, around my age or older. I mean, we got exposed to that stuff once we got into high school, maybe college. There wasn't too many football camps at that time. Anyway, I mean, now all these NFL players that retire, they open up football camps if they can't be a coach or a broadcaster. That's what they do.
I don't agree.
Yeah.
You don't agree with what?
That the resources weren't there. They just weren't advertised as much.
No,
especially down in your neck it was OJ. Florida's a football state, so I'm not giving that. No, I'm not giving a pass on that because it's still there.
The opportunities are plenty now.
The reason I say I don't agree with that because whether they had AAU type talent or football camps in high school anyway, when you get to them big programs like Florida, Notre Dame, USC, just to name a few, the coaching and the talent level at the coaching level is already there. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't work as hard. Maybe they didn't want it, or we have to throw another element in here too. Quail, the game has changed a lot too to make these quarterbacks be more NFL ready. Because back in the 80s and 90s, the defense hit harder, or let me rephrase, were allowed to hit harder than they are now. True or false?
That the old school hit harder?
No, they were allowed to hit harder. Now you have a certain way that you got to tackle so you don't endanger somebody, which I can understand.
I mean, they probably hit just as hard, but yeah, you can't. You gotta shore up to make sure you hit in the tackle box,
right?
Like in baseball.
And like to me, that's what I'm saying.
Like they're throwing the ball in a box, like you got to hit in the tackle box.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Because of the rule changes where you're allowed to hit and the way you're allowed to tackle, that gives the incoming rookies a little bit more flexibility per se, because they don't have to worry about as much,
They don't have to worry about getting smacked around. They just got to worry about the game moving faster. Back in the day, you have to worry about getting smacked and getting your tail hit between your legs,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this last time, so we ain't got to revisit that. I was going to talk about Tua because he got all the pieces he needs, so there's no excuses there. But let's talk about this Tannehill thing. Quell, they got that quarterback.
The one that he just asked about.
Yeah, that quarterback. So Is Tannehill's days numbered? Do you think this rookie can outplay him? What do you think? Because you weren't on last time, so we got to get a little insight from you on that one.
For Tennessee?
Yeah, because we
right. When he said it ain't my job to teach the player.
Yeah, that
yes, it is. You bum.
You know that right there.
That dude's a bum, Mike. What are you talking about?
He did say that. I forgot about that. He did say that.
About, man?
Who said that?
Tannehill said that about
people trying to compare it to Brett Favre. Hold on. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Trying to compare it to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Okay, you want to compare it to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre should have taught Aaron Rodgers. He just wanted him. He said, "I'll show you better than I'll teach you." That was his thing. Brett Favre is a goddamn superstar. He is one of the GOATs. You are not Brett Favre. You better be lucky you got a job last year. Boy, you better, oh my goodness. Yes, they should have drafted. They should have drafted 2 years ago, 3 years ago when they got your bum self. You are trash. You talk about you don't want to help out. But you better help out as much as possible. We're trying to win in Tennessee. They don't even need a quarterback. Honestly, you know who's the driver of that team in Tennessee?
Derrick Henry.
Say it with me now.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
That's right. Derrick Henry. He's the driver. He's the person in the back seat, the front seat, and the middle. You don't do nothing except for throwing decent balls when one-on-one coverage. And you got a top receiver in the game. What was it? AJ? Don't they got AJ? What's his name?
Well, they had AJ Brown.
They had AJ Brown, but they let him go because they didn't want to pay him.
You got a top 10 receiver in the NFL playing one-on-one because they got a stack with Derrick Henry in the box. You better be able to make the throw, but you still didn't.
I was about to say, it's obvious that he couldn't because he threw that pick against Cincinnati so they could go down there and kick that field goal and win the game. So.
Yep.
I got to push back a little bit because, Tannehill is not the best player, but when Henry got hurt, he did keep them afloat.
No, he didn't. That backup running back did. OJ, I'm not letting you push back on this one.
I think that was like 8 games, though.
Because if you ain't gonna give Jared Goff no credit, ain't no way I'm giving Tannehill no credit.
Jared Goff sucks, man.
Man, no. Ryan Tannehill sucks.
At least Jared Goff made it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
It's true.
Behind that defense.
Come on, man.
Oh, come on. You can't just come
behind that defense, man. Come on,
man.
Exactly. But Tannehill hasn't made it to the Super Bowl at all, and he had the best running back in the NFL for the last 3 years. Please tell me what his excuse is.
And a top 10 receiver. And a top 10 defense.
And I didn't think you had one, OJ.
What?
Tennessee did the same thing that Cleveland did to I can't even think of the dude's name. Baker Mayfield. They kept him as long as they needed to. When something better was available, they got somebody else. And correct me if I'm wrong, Baker Mayfield's still on their payroll. So I think they're waiting either for him to sit out so they ain't gotta pay him, or two, they'll say, just keep him on the team because they got to pay him if they cut him anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Carolina's looking to get Baker Mayfield, but
they need to because Dalton is not it.
But they're not. Cleveland is smart. They're not gonna let Baker walk out that door until they know what's going on with Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
And that's smart.
But it is smart. But let's say Baker throws a tantrum like he always does. Oh, y'all just want to play me because Deshaun Watson is suspended, so I'm just gonna go in here and subpar because I'm gonna get my check anyway. You know how Baker is. He's a spoiled brat. He ain't gonna do nothing but throw a tantrum. I'm second best.
Yeah, but it's just the way you look at it. Now you have another opportunity to prove that you are that dude that you say you are, and then you can actually raise your trade value.
All right, anything else you need to wrap up on this draft so we can get to the NBA playoffs?
No, y'all. Let me tell you about your Bears.
I don't want to, OJ. Ever since they passed on Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson, I ain't got nothing nice to say about them, okay? I'm from there, so I'm always support them. If they get good, maybe I'll jump back on the bandwagon. So right now, I'm a Justin Fields fan, not a Chicago Bears fan.
Well, they did a little bit to try to help him out. Look like they got 2 offensive linemen, 3 offensive linemen, some DBs, a running back, and a receiver to replace the one they let go because he played for the Rams now.
All right, like you said, on paper, we'll see what happens. All right, let's start out west. That Golden State Memphis series kind of went down by the wayside. Well, not really, because when Morant was out, they still blew him out by 55 points. I really didn't, to be honest. I didn't really pay attention to the Western Conference playoffs, except for we'll get to that Buster series in a minute. But I mean, was Memphis just there and they just didn't have that last score on Golden State's floor, or was Golden State just a better team across the board with or without Morant, Quail?
Well, I'm gonna say that that dude did him dirty. He hurt his knee. No, he did hurt his knee, but Morant's kind of a little frail when it comes to playing. But yeah, they missing the explosiveness and the offense that they get from him, because he attracts so much of the defense because of how quick he is.
But they went 18-1 without him this year, number one.
Right.
And OJ, who would you say what the other dude was that does all the scoring when he's not in there because they moved the ball?
But come on, Cliff. You know things are all different in the playoffs. You can go 18-1. Look at the Suns. We ain't gonna get into that right now. But hey,
we gonna need the bell for me on that one. But anyways, OJ, who's that second scorer that you always talk about?
Bane?
Yeah, Bane. He's a point guard, right?
Desmond Bane.
He's the backup.
Yep.
And they got a couple of other people too that chip in, but they play more of a team game when Morant's out. When Morant's with them, then they kind of feed off of his energy.
Yeah,
right.
But like I pointed out to you the other day when we were talking, OJ, do you think that it's kind of the Odell Beckham situation where when he's in there, you got to make sure he's happy, but when he's not, everybody else can touch the ball? Is that what it's kind of like? Would you say?
I could say that's a good analogy, but Morant's not really that type of a person. I think that's to a credit to him. He's not like, I'm the star, you gotta give me the ball. He's not that type of person. And I think maybe not I'm the star, get me the ball, but maybe they feel they have to get him the ball because he's so explosive, like to Quayle's point. Yeah, well, when he's in there, it's a totally different offense. So, and he's a centerpiece of it.
Golden State was the better team without Morant. If Morant hadn't got hurt, OJ tells us all the time, don't play with his game, so we're not even going to go down the road. All right.
It would have been interesting, though.
Yeah, it would have.
Have him in there.
I think they would have won it in 6 if he hadn't got hurt, but we'll see next year. Quail. Was Dallas the better team, or did CP3 and the Suns just?
We can ding this one together, because I don't know. You want me to answer you want me to go off on these, or you want me to just pull up some stats for you?
I don't even want to hear the stats because I already know them that bad. I just don't want to. Let's just break it down. They did the same thing against Dallas this year they did against Milwaukee last year. They went up 2-0, and then they got manhandled. They got, what did I call it last year? They got dirty swept is what happened to them. They got dirty swept.
Hey, Cliff, let's throw this question out there first before we go ham on these Suns.
Okay.
They was disgusting. Is it time for Chris Paul to retire? Because he contemplated that today. After this disaster.
I would say no, but if he turns in, you know what? He's been playing for such a long time, and they just say he couldn't shoot. That's what happened to him.
What about you, Tony? Should Chris Paul retire?
if my response is based on what I saw this year in the playoffs, yep. Because man, he was showing some miles. No, I give him some respect though. Chris Paul, he's been putting in work for a while. He's a good player. To echo a little bit of what OJ was saying, yeah, your teammates got to help. They got to help out. But goddamn, come on, man. I was sitting there watching these games. I'm like, why the hell y'all jacking up all these shots? Y'all know y'all making a house with all them damn bricks. And then nobody readjusts. The coach ain't calling no timeout. Nobody readjusts. And they're all professionals. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all got to get together. Y'all got to slide your feet. Stop getting beat on all these rotations and no switches and all that. They were just playing a horrible ball from beginning to the end. And like Mike Tyson said, everybody got to play until they get hit in the mouth. They didn't come to play. They got hit in the mouth and they never recovered.
But doesn't that go back to what we talked about, or what we always talk about, I should say, about attitude reflecting leadership? He got re-signed because of his leadership and what he brought to the team the last year. And he didn't bring that this year in the playoffs. If we want to go back a little further, he didn't even do it last year against Milwaukee. So would it be safe to say that he's not holding up his end of the bargain? Plus the fact that Dallas put that defense on him. They maybe not the same person, but they rotated and they put somebody fresh on him so he couldn't do his thing. And he always disappears in the playoffs.
That's not the time to be inconsistent. That's for sure.
Well,
and like you said last year, he didn't do it against Milwaukee. So, but he's 37. I mean, that's no spring chicken, I guess. NBA wise, right? I mean, so.
Go ahead.
New Orleans should have never let him go. Just saying.
Will you quit crying over that spilled milk?
He ain't letting it go.
Nope.
I'm just gonna say, based on what I saw the last 2 years, I'm like Tony. He should retire. Period. Yeah. I was kind of skeptical when Phoenix gave him that contract last year because it was for 4 years, and I didn't think, if y'all go back and listen to the podcast, I didn't think he was gonna make it 2. So, I mean, everybody can't be like Kobe. Everybody can't be like LeBron. So, I mean, and them on the 2 right now that I can think of that played deep into their 30s and was still balling. Chris is not balling.
I think with Chris Paul, it's either age or competitiveness or both. I lean on the fact that it's probably both. It's about that time because he is disappearing in playoff games when that used to be when he would just rise to the occasion. He's no longer doing that.
We got our question answered around the horn. So what's up? What you got?
Oh yeah, you ain't gonna rant first?
Nah. The bottom line is, I'm just gonna say that Monty Williams, he left him in there too long. I guess he probably did it out of respect for Chris Paul because he wanted him to see what he could do. But I think he did. I'm going to call it the Dusty Baker because Dusty Baker used to do this in the playoffs with the Chicago Cubs all the time. He would leave pitchers out there too long and blow the game, and that's why he never won a championship there. So, but yeah, Monty Williams did it too. He left him out there too long. Ayton, supposedly the number 1 overall pick, played like a... I gotta keep it PG. Play like a buster. Gonna say he don't even want to go back in the game. Only had 5 points in the last game.
Let me start off with DeAndre. Now I want to. The coach asks you if you want to play, and he says no. Get this bum up off the team. He's through. He's done. Stick a fork in him. Get him up out of here. How? In the F. Do you only score 32 points as a team by the half? It was over at halftime. I want y'all to think back when the last time a game 7 was over by halftime. Don't worry, you ain't never got to think about it because I ain't seen it. Game 7, you won't show up. Not even, you didn't even show up for the whole game. You said halftime, we out of here. I'm through. The Suns are phony.
Yeah.
They phonies.
And what makes it even worse is they were on their home floor.
Luka had 35. The whole Suns starting 5 at 37. So they had 2 more points with 5 people. He's almost outscored that whole starting 5 himself. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It's freaking crazy.
But I don't know if look. I don't know if he can do it again against Golden State. That's not gonna happen.
Oh, he may not be able to do it again, but
I don't see it.
He just outclassed the Suns. He just made them look like they should have.
I disagree, but we'll get to that in a minute. We got to go to the East. We ain't gonna talk about we ain't gonna talk about Miami and Philly because that was a wrap before it even started. Because James Harden knew he wasn't gonna show up. Embiid got hurt.
No, first off, everybody agreed about me with James Harden, right? Can we finally agree? James Harden is a no-show.
All right, yeah, we can agree that James Harden is a no-show. And OJ, get ready to talk because I don't even want to. I don't want to hear, but I do because Milwaukee lost. But I told you, and before you start, I don't want no excuses. I just want you to tell me what happened. Don't say Giannis was tired. He can't do it by himself. That Middleton was hurt, and this and that and the other because you said that wasn't going to matter. So now tell me what happened.
That's exactly what I'm going to say. That I mean, everybody has a bad game. And unfortunately, Giannis had a bad game. All that wear and tear caught up to him.
No. You said a bad game. That's all. You said not a bad half. He had a bad half?
I guess. I mean, the second half is what counts, right? If you're gonna have a bad half,
you a superstar.
Do it the first half.
You a superstar. You didn't show up for Game 7. You had a bad half, and the second half is the most important, right? You didn't show up.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But what was his supporting cast do? I mean,
he was a no-show. He was throwing. He was not being aggressive. He was being passive aggressive, and they got scared because Celtics kept hitting threes, and they kept having a sense of urgency, and they kept
what the old boy that don't never really hit threes. Hey, he was hitting them that night. I think he made
that was stupid. But the thing is, you can say what you want about that. He was been hitting threes to the first half. They didn't adjust.
I gotta be fair to Milwaukee on this one. To be fair, they was doubling Tatum. And off of him. So, I mean, what can you do when the Celtics got all them shooters? You doubling Tatum, you doubling Brown, and leaving either him or Derek White open. Look, I'm trying to give Milwaukee a little bit of respect, but I don't care because my Celtics won.
You get zero respect. and if that's the case, yes, Giannis should have guarded Jason Tatum one-on-one. You said, you need to close out on Williams because he is killing us out there.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody get up out there. I'm guarding Tatum. I'm gonna do that, and somebody gonna have to do something on the offensive end.
And even go a little bit further with this, Boston handed this series to Milwaukee on a silver platter, and they didn't take it. They won Game 5 in Boston because Smart fumbled the rebound and couldn't get it down court so they could score that opening basket. I did. You know what? I'm gonna tell you how much I thought it was anymore. I didn't even watch Game 6. Until the last 30 seconds to make sure they was going to win. Because I was like, the series is over. They're going back to Milwaukee. They're about to blow it. And then I hear Jason Tatum has 45. Jaylen Brown has 32. I was like, oh, them fools blew up. Okay, we going to a Game 7. The series is ours. And they didn't lose that series in Game 7. They lost that series in Game 6 when they lost at home. That's when they lost that
Y'all
series.
Y'all be killing LeBron for that, not closing out series. And this dude didn't close them out. So he get killed too.
Yep, that's true.
Hey. I really don't care because my Miami Heat is in the finals, right? We said we're going to be Heat Milwaukee, but now it's Heat in Boston. And I'm just telling you right now, the Heat's going to win it in 7. Because I'm going to give Boston a little bit of respect.
You also said Milwaukee was going to come out of the East. So I don't know if I'm inclined to listen to anything you say.
Milwaukee should have came out of the East.
And you know what? I'm not giving Miami no respect because they went against a Sixers team that was trash. I don't care.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
but you see, we got a team with shooters.
But like I was pointing out to OJ yesterday, Eric, rest could be a bad thing in this sense, especially when it comes to basketball. Football rest is a good thing, but when it comes to basketball, there's nothing like gameplay. Boston
that's true.
Timing.
Boston timing, in-game endurance or stamina.
Momentum.
So they may come out. They may come out a little tired in the first half, but the second half
is younger.
So
and they got better and they got a better bench.
I gotta agree with Quell here.
Come on, man.
Who did they play? The Hawks.
Yeah. The Hawks and the Sixers.
And the Sixers. They was on the easy side of the bracket. Come on now. Who did they play?
The Miami beat. Did Miami lose to the Nets last year or Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
No, it was Milwaukee.
In the
and
first
then
round.
They had the same team except for Oladipo.
Yep. And we know he ain't nobody. Mr. Rod want to get hurt all the dang time.
That's disrespectful.
I don't care. Please. He ain't been the same since he left Indianapolis. I don't want to hear. That's why he's on his third team in 4 years. Well, since we're already talking about it, let's go. Miami in the Celtics. Miami got home court advantage, which doesn't really matter because Celtics play good on the road anyway. Ask the Nets in Milwaukee.
But that's why I'm taking them in 7. Because y'all got to come see us when it's all said and done.
All right, 7 from OJ. Eric, what you got? I think you said Miami in 6, right?
I said Miami in 6. Or did I say 7? I think I said 7 in the chat.
You said 6. I'm looking at it. Tony, how many who you got in how many games?
Oh man, this is a tough one. Kind of, it's gonna be a pretty good matchup. But I really think Boston, the young team, is gonna come up and surprise you. Oh, I really think so. I say Boston and. I'll give Miami some respect. Boston in 7. I want to say 6. I want to say Boston in 6.
Tony's calling
going to surprise you.
Tony's calling Boston in the game 7 on the road. We know that don't happen very often.
Nope.
All right, Quail, what you got?
I'm gonna go Boston in 6. I'm gonna let you go ahead and do that.
That's what I was thinking. Damn, should have said it.
That's what I'm going with. Boston in 6. They gonna steal a couple in Miami and win it on their home floor. For a series I really don't care about, but actually I do now that Phoenix ain't there. I'll start with you. I'll start with you, Tony. Phoenix and Dallas, and how many games? I'm sorry, I said Phoenix and Dallas.
Golden State.
Dallas and Golden State.
Golden State, yeah. You know, I mean, golly, this is going to be a fun game. I'm really going to like this matchup. You know, I really think that obviously, you know, you got to give Golden State their respect. They the OGs on the block, but I think that might work against them with this Dallas squad. I mean, they were showing me some stuff, so I think Dallas makes this they give it a run. They push them to the limit. I'm going to give it to Dallas. I'm going to give it to Dallas in an upset.
Wow.
I am going with the upset. Both sides of the brackets. Both sides going with the underdogs.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I say
Dallas in 7.
7. Yeah, I say 7. Dallas in 7.
Hold on, OJ. Quail, what you got? Dallas or Golden State?
I really want this to happen because I hate Golden State. Dallas in 7, please. Don't let me down, Luka.
3 out of 3 for Dallas, OJ. You going Golden State with your boy Steph Curry, old school Steve Kerr style? What's up?
Ain't nothing like the old school, so I'm going with Golden State because they got experience. Them young boys, they on the rise, but Luka got he got some more seasoning to do.
Yeah, he's gonna get it in this last one. He's gonna season them Golden State Warriors, I think.
All right. I'm going with Dallas for a couple of reasons. And OJ, you said you're gonna go with experience.
Experience over you. It wins every time.
I'm going with
not every time.
The experience I'm going with is Jason Kidd because he took some lumps and he got them boys playing. Yeah, I wasn't a Jason Kidd fan when he was playing, but I'm a Jason Kidd fan as a coach, and I think he did some. Yeah. This is his first year in Dallas, and he's got them boys balling. And there ain't who on Golden State's gonna be able to guard Luka because it sure ain't gonna be Draymond.
Ain't nobody.
He's too fast for him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But see, the reason why I ain't really high on Luka like y'all, he's only a one-way player. He passive on defense. I mean, he gets you a bunch of points, but you gotta play both ways. On both ends of the court.
But they got collective team defense though.
Yep. Yeah, I was about to say that.
But I got I'm gonna take Dallas in 6 actually. I don't think it's gonna go 7. It's going 6.
Let's say put some respect on Dallas, man.
I'm going with Dallas.
Yeah, I'm a long holdout, but this dude named Jordan Poole. that's been playing lights out.
I'm not sold on him. I'm not.
Even,
I seen him play. He don't impress me.
Even the Minnesota Wonder done learn how to play. Playing with Golden State. You know who I'm talking about, Wiggins.
He don't. OJ, I will smack you all the way down to Florida's back. Do not even go there. Minnesota got rid of him for a reason.
Right.
Hey, but he's been playing with Golden State though.
I don't want to go on a rant about Wiggins' weak self. He's Kirk Cousins to me.
Yes. He is, man. You right, man. You are right. Well, he is Cousins on the basketball.
He's a Kirk Cousins of basketball. Minnesota Timberwolves. He is the Kirk Cousins.
But Andrew Wiggins is just about as a big number 1 overall pick as DeAndre Ayton. That's where I'm putting him at.
Hey, I think y'all might let him go too soon. I mean, that man done found his thing.
No, what do you mean too soon, OJ? He was drafted in 2015. It's 2022. Come on now.
Not soon enough, OJ. What are you smoking?
OJ, I won't bet you that they'll win. I won't bet you that they'll win. You know, Golden State or Dallas, but I bet you that Wiggins don't show up.
Oh, he ain't showing.
Promise you, this man
he is not showing.
And I will give you the proof.
You gonna hey Quay, you gonna play the James Harden card on him?
You know what? I'm gonna go this far. I guarantee you will show up. I guarantee it. I'll put a stamp on it. He ain't showing up. Oh my goodness.
You gotta give him a little respect, Quell. He gonna show up. He gonna show up to show his face. He ain't showing up the ball. He is not falling out.
While we're talking about people not showing up, who do you think is not going to show up for the Celtics and the Heat? Because you know there's always one person on each team that doesn't show up when they should.
Jimmy Butler's not showing up for the Heat, but I'm still giving his respect.
Man, y'all better put some respect on my boy name.
I think Jimmy Butler.
That man balling right now. I just want him to keep it.
Tyler Hero ain't
mojo going.
Yeah, I go with Tyler. I would go with Hero.
Hero is streaky. Hero is. I give you that. Hero is streaky. He can give you 40 one night and give you like 5 the next. But I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. You only got Jimmy Butler. I bet you Bam Adebayo don't show up.
Bam's good for about 20, 15, 20.
No.
So as it stands now, Quell, we got who'd you pick in the East? Oh yeah, you picked Miami. So as it stands, or not Miami, you picked Boston. So as it stands right now, we got Boston and Dallas in the NBA Finals. Except for OJ. Except for OJ.
That's a good NBA Finals.
I don't know.
Whoever win that would be.
I want
Boston to win.
Miami.
Actually.
Yeah, and you got 2 first-year head coaches, and they're 2 black coaches too.
Jason Kidd ain't black either.
He's close enough. He's an Oreo. Don't say Jason Kidd ain't black. He a half. What do y'all call him? A half breed? Yeah, he black.
If you got any form of black,
I guarantee you, if he's driving down in the white neighborhood, he's getting pulled over. That makes him black. Damn it!
Hell no.
Shit.
Y'all crazy, bro.
Man.
Y'all crazy.
But OJ, I'm surprised you going with Golden State anyway, because me and you agreed. We'll call it the Tony Dungy syndrome, that Steve Kerr just cooked the meal. Mark Jackson
built it.
Made the recipe.
He did.
Made the recipe.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, those players are still there, and they know how to win.
I'm not debating that, but I'm just saying he's still playing with the roster that Mark Jackson put together. With a few additions, but...
Yeah, I mean, he had to get to revamp it. That's why this one will probably be, his championship, really.
But you know who's going to disappear? We didn't even talk about the West. You know who's going to disappear for Golden State? He always disappears, right, Quail? Your boy Steph Curry. He always disappears in the finals. He don't never have no good finals.
Steph Curry ain't showing up.
If teams like Chicago could stay healthy, Milwaukee probably would have had a lot tougher time, even with Middleton in there. But because that dude got hurt, what is his name? Quail that the Lakers should have picked up.
DeRozan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If DeRozan could have stayed healthy, Chicago could have gave them a much more tougher time.
Well, what's the name went out? Ball went out.
It would have been a wrap if Lamar Ball was playing, because that's their true point guard.
The one that said that the Lakers wasn't going to win, or his dad said that they wasn't going to win a championship because they traded him to New Orleans.
Right.
Yeah.
And they won one the next year.
Well, they won 1 year, 2 years after, I think.
Well, that's all they got to show for that bubble championship. That's what everybody keep calling. But
so are you saying? So you saying the bubble championship ain't legit?
That's what everybody trying to make it seem like. But I'm just saying.
But everybody had the same shot, so why is it not legit? Why is that got to have an asterisk by it?
Because it was a shortened season.
If anything, last year was asterisk because that's when everybody got hurt.
If we're gonna put an asterisk, OJ, by the Lakers winning the championship in the bubble, then we got to put an asterisk by the 2 championships Durant won in Golden State, because that team was already put together before he got there.
Maybe.
He just went there because he said, "Oh, we'll play."
But he made them better. He made them that much better.
But they had already won a championship before him.
Yeah,
but that's
they're winning, and they're winning after him. Hey, but y'all know who's balling?
Who?
Quell, you know who I'm about to say. My boy Al Horford.
Yes,
he is balling.
Yeah.
Al Horford, yeah.
He's been coming up. He had a resurgence. That's what put Boston over the top. With it, because he was giving them about 20 points. Plus he was playing that deep.
Old man shot.
He was protecting the rim. Porter tried to come up there and he was like, "Get that out of here!"
Out of here, yeah.
He was going head to head against Giannis in game 4, game 5.
Yeah, Giannis had a lot of problems with some of the Celtics players. Grant Williams was giving him a headache in game 1 and 2.
Gotta give it up to Giannis. I mean, Giannis, like I said, he was averaging like 40, almost 40 points a night. At some point, that becomes a toll. I mean,
I'll give him that.
Need some help.
More pieces. Yeah,
I was about to say
I'll pieces.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because Middleton was out, and that's 30 points right there off the table.
Yeah, that's true.
So if Middleton's in there, this is a totally different series. I still think the Celtics win it, but it'll be. I think every game would have been close.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. But you can't cry over spilled milk. You gotta play with what you got.
But Giannis is good. There's no
he is good. Yeah.
Giannis is great. Because I mean he's a 2-time MVP.
Yeah.
Circumstances probably helped him win that championship last year, but he took advantage of it, which is what he's supposed to.
Oh yeah. Hold up. Speaking of MVP, what we gotta say about Jokic winning the MVP?
Man, they disrespected that award 2 years in a row, giving it to his ass.
Right.
Who should have won it instead then?
I would have gave it to Luka or Embiid.
Yeah. To his credit, to Joker's credit, he did something that no other player did. I think it was like 5,000 something, 10,000, whatever. He did something that no other player did. Undone. But at the same time,
but both years he's won this MVP. He's getting bounced in the first round.
OJ, his seed was way lower.
Right, he's getting bounced in the first round both years.
Your seed counts. You can't be just like when I said LeBron can't be MVP if you don't make the playoffs. He barely made the playoffs. Barely. He was in that. He was luckily not to be in that play-in tournament. And don't tell me that, he didn't have his other players. Because Joel Embiid had that bum James Harden and was still balling. And he had the bum Seth Curry and whoever. And he was still balling. So, I mean, come on, man. He did more. And he had more impact on the game. It was just like, hey, LJ, do you believe Steve Nash should have won those MVPs back in the day?
No, I gotta think.
Probably gonna go down with Joker too.
I gotta think about who he was
now,
competing against.
I don't think he should have won those.
Nash was good, but I don't know. I don't think he should have won them back to back like that.
Good does not win you MVP, OJ. Greatness does. Not good. So let's just say the league was watered down and they just gave it to somebody because they could. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, because that was after Jordan was gone. Kobe was just getting started. Hold up? How does Nash have 2 MVPs and Kobe ain't got none? How does that work?
Yeah. Wow. I didn't think about that.
Nash ain't better than Kobe.
No.
And he ain't better than Shaq. He won him over Shaq them years. The years that he won him over Shaq when he shouldn't have.
Shaq was a great big man, man.
Shaq was too much of a beast. He had the LeBron syndrome. They didn't want to give it to him, so they gave it to somebody else.
Killing. Shaq he was a monster in the paint.
The one thing that matters, Kobe got. So he got 5 of them.
Yep, he got 5. Yep.
Nash got none of them.
None.
So, for Sports Talk, Coast to Coast NBA Playoff Edition, thanks for joining us.